We are live.
Hi,
Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm Angela O'Hare, your favorite Las Vegas realtor.
and I'm Rob Howe, Rockstar Realtor.
Yes, and we thought we would get together on Christmas Eve and offer our special Christmas message, maybe talk about what's going on, just briefly about real estate because,
Yeah,
we live and breathe real estate.
that's right.
So, where should we begin? How are you doing? You got
I'm
plans for the holidays?
I'm doing great. I have some plans beyond the holiday, and some plans just with my mom.
Are you going skiing this
I'm
time?
going. I'm gonna go up to Mammoth Mountain for a little bit. Um,
The usual.
yeah, yeah. So I'm kind of
Are you
excited
going by
about that.
yourself?
No, I'm going with a friend and her daughters.
Ah.
Yes, and
You going with Karen?
yes. Yes, Karen's being called out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Karen.
so her daughters are like, they're a little older. They're not like super young, so they're really fun, and they we just have a good
I'm
time.
going to put you on the spot.
Uh
Are you back to seeing Karen again?
oh, geez, no, no, we are very good friends.
Okay.
We are very very good friends.
I'm Miss Nosy.
She probably needs a nice little getaway right now, and
Yes, don't we all?
yeah. Well, this she's had some big moments in her life that I think she needs to. Nice little
sounds like fun.
vacation. Going to be good. Yeah, and from what I understand, Mammoth has a lot of snow.
Because I remember last year when you were going, there was like on and off because of the whole COVID thing.
Yeah, I was a little worried that we might. Speaking of that,
This year's
we'll
still
see.
the same.
We'll see.
Still
Yeah, it's
have
not
COVID
quite
going.
It's not quite the same. I mean, we kind of last year we kind of snuck in a little bit, and we were able to get in.
Right.
They weren't allowing hotel rooms to be rented at that time, so.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But yeah, so this year lots of snow and not quite as restrictive. So hopefully we can get
Will you
out
be
there.
there for New Year's or?
I'm gonna actually go there. I haven't decided exactly what day I'm coming back because I've got a lot going on.
Right.
So I'll leave Monday and then I might come back. I have to figure out when this closing is happening and if I have to be for a walkthrough and stuff.
Right.
So
yeah, real estate gets in the way with life sometimes.
yeah. A lot of times this time of year, speaking of real estate, I mean, a lot of times we have a little bit more time to spend with our families and things that we want to get done. A lot of times I take this time of year to do projects that I want to do, that maybe I've been putting off or
Right.
something. I am. So I'll get that. I like to really get that time to focus and really get something done, and not so much this year.
No, I have people like I was telling Rob. I had someone yesterday and someone today calling, wanting to look at houses this weekend. I'm like,
Well,
I got team members to help you out there.
There you go. There you go. You've earned the right.
Yes.
This isn't like your first or second year where you really do have to get out there and do whatever you can.
Right.
I mean, and you have the things in place. So
yes.
that's great.
And I guess the point of this video is kind of, just a year-end review of what happened with us in real estate and in life. I guess a lot of people want to know sometimes, right? A little more about us outside of the real estate realm.
Sometimes we think that, yes.
And then just wish a happy holiday season, but we'll get that in the end. We'll try to keep this short.
Yeah, today will be shorter.
Try to.
For sure. Yeah.
But we see a few people watching. Make sure you say hi. Say
if you have questions, please drop them in. We like to answer real estate questions, so that's what your channel is all about, and I think this show has always been about. But we're gonna talk a little bit about what the year has been like for us and whether or not we hit some goals that we were looking to hit.
Okay. You want to go first?
Well, I'll ask you some questions.
Okay.
So did you have goals that you were trying to hit this year?
I did.
Okay. Do you feel like you hit those goals?
Well, my goal was to do 50, remember?
Okay. 50 sales.
50 sales, and I did 44.
Wow. That's really good.
Yeah. And I would say of that 44, 29 of that came from YouTube.
Nice.
And I was just breaking down the numbers, and I forgot how many of that were new construction, which I would say a good half of that was all new construction homes.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I had lofty goals as well. I've been still in the one-man show thing, so I didn't quite get everything that I was trying to go after, but I kind of realized it probably about 3 months into the year. I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to get to where I need to go here, but or it's not. See, I think for me, it's not a need, it's a want, and it is more of a 10-year over year, got to do better, 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 better.
Right.
So I think I'm around 30. I haven't counted them up, to be honest, but
yeah, I mean, anything, because there are real estate agents that don't do anything. So something
30 is
30
good.
is very good.
I'm not upset about doing 30 at all.
I mean, I always used to just hover around 20. So, I mean, 44. When we were talking last year, setting our goals, we planned on doing 50. And
you've doubled what you've done.
I've doubled what I've normally done.
That's huge.
And next year, I don't think I'm really going to set goals per se. I'm just going to let it flow, go with the flow.
Well, I think it's good to have goals, Ange. And so we'll talk about that next.
Okay.
So you obviously hit, very, very close to hitting your a lofty goal.
Right.
Which was 50 sales. So you got 44. By the way, 44 adds to 8. So great. 8 is great. And so what else did you do that you want to do, maybe outside of real estate, that you were like, you know what, I see I'm going to have these opportunities. What did you go after and get done?
Well, having such great goals, and I was able to remodel my kitchen this year.
Nice.
Which
it's beautiful.
Yes. And I've done a video on YouTube, my beautiful kitchen. And then I have goals this coming year. A big project once a year, I think is good goals for home. This year is going to be, or this coming year is going to be the bathrooms.
Okay.
And then the following year, probably flooring.
Okay. You're hitting on all things that will be great resale value too.
Exactly. And I always think when I review is about how my house is going to sell.
Yes, absolutely. That's something that I always, even though I know a lot of people, especially people that are first-time home buyers, they don't really think about the long run. Hey, I might sell this one day. So I'm always reminding people, maybe, this is going to be good for your resale in the long run. They kind of look at me like, yeah, don't really care about that. But one day, I tell them one day, you're going to come to me and say, hey, Rob, I want to sell this house. And I'm going to know right away, oh, you bought the house that backs to, Tropicana.
Right.
You
may have gotten a great deal on it. But...
yeah. So, anyway, so I was going to, I had a great question, great follow-up for you on that. Okay, so no, but you did the kitchen.
I did the kitchen.
And then with all this business, you must have had to expand what you have as far as your help.
Oh, totally. I have an assistant now, and I also have a buyer's agent and a showing agent. So it's been nice that I can actually breathe a little and pass the responsibility to other people.
Yeah. Enjoy this time of year. And obviously you're sort of just glossing over what that meant to do that.
Right.
But that is not just something that took, let me just go out and get an agent. Let me just go out and get assistants.
No. I've been through 2 assistants now. My second assistant's great. And the story behind my second assistant, I don't know if I told you this.
No.
We knew each other 20 plus years ago from my previous marriage.
Okay.
And the kids were friends when they're a little age and whatever. And she got into real estate back in August and saw my posting on LinkedIn and like, you know what? Maybe I'll give that Angela a call, and which worked out perfectly. She's a newer agent, so I'm actually training her.
Yeah.
And then eventually, training her the proper ways of being a real estate agent. And so then that way she can become my buyer's agent. So it'll always be a rotation. Which
it's a different pipeline, isn't it? You have your leads and your client pipeline, and then you have, the secondary, actually it's your team pipeline.
Right. And when I got into real estate, I did not ever want to have a team. I didn't want it at all, because I've been in retail management for 20 years and I manage people, and I was
dealing with
I'm
people,
done.
Right?
I want to just manage myself and that's it. But unfortunately, I've gotten so big that I had to grow a team.
Well, that's, and I know, just from I haven't had a team myself, but my mother had a brokerage growing up. So I I can agree that I never wanted to be involved in that and hiring people and stuff like that. But it does take quite a bit to find that talent. I call it talent.
Right.
These people are not just workers for you. They're talent. You're trying to find people that will work with your clients and do what is necessary to continue a great rapport with them and not make you look bad.
Right.
I mean, you can get just anybody and they will screw things up for you.
Yes.
So it's good to find people.
Yeah, eventually maybe you and I will merge together, like we talked about last year.
Yeah.
And now that I have the systems in place, it'll be a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we took the time. That was actually one of our goals when we first got together. I don't know that we ever shared that. We eventually kind of said things. We were alluding to it.
I think it's in a market update.
Yeah, we would allude to it. But I'm glad that we took the time. We stepped back from it for a second because I think that was important to not rush that and really just establish, what that's going to mean and our own businesses to really just get the footing even stronger there.
Exactly.
I think this is not just something that you should do in business, but this is something you should do in your personal life. A lot of people are looking for the answer outside of themselves, right? And you really sometimes, I find that most oftentimes in life, you have to look inward first, strengthen yourself, be the best that you can be, do the most that you can do before you then seek out the help that you need further, because the answers are not always going to be given to you by other people,
Totally.
Totally. You can get help.
I mean, it's crazy to think it's already been a year.
Yeah.
When we were doing the
it's over a year. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's been over a year, but we were heavily doing the Rob and Ange real estate show.
Yeah.
And creating our characters and our predictions. And it's kind of crazy to think what we were predicting this year would be is totally kind of unpredictable. We didn't predict it.
Yeah. Well, I like to look into the crystal ball and see things coming. So that being said, I wanted to jump right to a gift that I have for you.
Aww.
I don't have a card because that's how busy I've been.
Well, I don't have a card or a gift right now. It's back ordered because of all the delays.
All right. So this here is a gift that I think represents the future. It's useful immediately.
Okay.
But there's a representation of the future. And
is this Christmas wrap?
It is Christmas wrap.
Amazing, because last time I got mushrooms.
That's right. Well, I thought it was fun.
This is pretty wrap.
Yeah. I was not sure I had some, and then I did. It's not, you don't have to comment about the actual wrap because I'm not much of a.
Oh, no, you did good. Here. Cool.
So, yeah, let's make this quick. People are like, what the hell?
Ooh, nice. I love architecture and design.
So this is obviously just a nice little coffee table book.
Yeah, that's cool though.
And I just felt like even the colors of it would kind of go with where you were in your house now.
Oh yeah, or even in my office.
Wherever you'd like it. And speaking of your office, this is my little prediction, my little future outlook. Is that I feel one day you're going to have a lobby or a waiting room that you're going to need to have books like this around for people to look at.
That means that I would have to open my own brokerage.
Now, I don't know that I'm predicting that, but you could get so big that you actually need to take over an area.
I can't wait to look.
Very cool, right?
Yes, very cool. Yeah. I love design and inspiration and modern.
Yeah. So I think a lot of this has to do with like houses just kind of being set in nature.
Oh, ooh, nice.
Right.
Yeah.
So cool stuff.
Yeah, very
Can't
cool.
go wrong with a book like that. I felt like.
Definitely.
And then one day you can picture one of your clients looking at that while they're waiting to speak with you or one of your people.
That would be awesome.
So, there you go.
Can't top it. So that's great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Let's see what else. Let's what you want to talk about? What we were talking about earlier about the world news, or do you want to do like a real estate prediction for next year?
Yeah, I guess we could. Let's go ahead and jump right into what we're seeing for next year. What we want to do for next year.
All right, and then we'll try to wrap it up.
So, what are you seeing ahead?
Well, this kind of ties in what we were talking about with the world news situation, with the new COVID variant, the Omicron, what's it called?
Omicron, yeah. Omnicorn.
If this continues at the rate it does, which we'll get into that, but I think that it's still going to be very strong.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're going to, obviously we're taking the lull. I think November numbers are going to be strong. December numbers are going to be strong. January is not going to be so strong because, no one, not as January typically is a slow month anyway. And then once February hits, we're just going to hit the ground running again.
Okay. Yeah.
Unless the interest rates.
So, okay. Yeah. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just teed it up perfectly for me for what I was thinking, which is, yes, I've been astonished at the strength that we've had going through this last part of the year. Right. I mean, the fact that we raised another $10,000 in the median home price for a single family residence, that to $420, that's high.
Very high.
So I think actually December we see another slight uptick, if not something, if worst case it's flat, but I've seen a lot of strength.
Yeah.
Going in this month. So I think we just kind of blow through where we would normally have a little stall out.
Yeah.
And I actually think that January stays strong as well. And for the reason that you just mentioned, which is those interest rates that have been said they are coming. And this time they made it official. We are raising the interest rates, not one, not two, but three times.
Supposedly, but they said that last year too.
Okay. Well, they didn't quite make it as official that, hey, right, we're doing this. They talked about it, and now they have said we're doing it. Okay. We're doing it. So I think that's been the key. And I would say you have to take it seriously this time because the inflation is at like what, near 7%, nearly going into 8%. It's really, really high, and that has to get offset. And I mean, there are people that would know more about that than us that right, can expound on that. But so I think in anticipation of that, buyers are saying, oh, wait a minute. You're telling me, first of all, it's not as crazy as it was, right? I can buy a house without having to pay above appraisal. I might be able to do that. Okay, cool. I couldn't do that before. I couldn't get involved. So now they're getting involved. And I think that's going to have some more inertia in the market. I think the things that are being displayed in like California that have been driving those people out,
yes,
have continued.
But a lot of those people now are wanting to go elsewhere because the Vegas market has gotten too expensive.
So, but that said, it's still relatively good landing spot, still close. Proximity is great right, for a lot of people. So we won't see that historic push, but I think we'll see still pretty strong numbers.
Oh, yeah. I have, I'm actually starting to get more listings. I'll have a listing in Sun City in January, a listing in Providence in January, and a listing in Summerlin West in February.
Beautiful.
I know.
Yeah. That's what
that's my goal for this 2022.
That ties in perfectly. So Ange, you should have a goal and you should tell yourself listings every single day.
Yes.
You need to read that every day that what am I looking for? Listings.
Only in summer. No, I'm just kidding.
Take them anyway. Listings are fun. Listings are great. I think
that's my goal. But for number wise, I mean, if I could do the same thing as I did this year, then I'll be happy.
Okay.
Do 40, 50 transactions.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, you should be. Yeah. But if you could now say to yourself, well, I'm going to do more percentage in listings, right?
Right. And with having a buyer's agent, and I probably could have done more this year if I had help, but the buyer's agent just came last month.
Now you're putting all the pieces together.
Exactly.
Now, I don't need to tell you this. I know that she's a thinker. She's always on this stuff. She's way ahead of anything that I ever did when it comes to all the things that you do online. And
right.
I learned from you on that stuff. But anyway, this is where we kind of balance each other out. We have a little bit of a yin yang in that way. but it's not a opposing thing. It's just,
right.
I think we help each other in those ways.
Totally.
So I would say for me, that my goal is for sure to continue listings, higher price listings, I'm trying to crack into better and better markets.
I think another goal for you would be client management systems.
Yeah. Well, that's been a goal, and I have, I've done better, but not quite where I want to be, and that is something that I might be asking.
What I need to do is just open training and have a training program and just train agents.
My goodness, you make a fortune.
New agents, when they're coming onto the market,
well, as they wait in your waiting room, you've got a book for them to look.
And then the real estate aspect is I'll have a team of buyers agents. I mean, ideally, you always want to think especially at this age or any age, you want to think of other income potential.
Yes.
I would have loved
passive income.
I would have loved for this YouTube channel to have 1 million subscribers and then have that passive income one day. Maybe in 10 years.
What you're doing. Yeah.
It took me a long time to get where I'm at.
Well, that's reasonable. You know, 1 million subscribers in 5 to 10 years. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, that would be the goal, to have passive income from real estate or YouTube, and then have a buyer's agent. So ideally, I'm just the face of everything.
Yeah.
That's my dream.
Angela O'Hare.
She's everywhere. But anyway, guys, I'm sure. But with the whole new variant, and we were briefly talking about this.
Here we go.
About the Omicron variant. I just think it's never going to be ending. I think that there's always going to be another strain coming out. I think we're going to be stuck wearing these masks for the rest of our lives.
It sure feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think it's just getting a little old.
Yeah, well, for sure. I sense that all around that.
Like things are, the CE.
The CE classes?
No, not CE. The trade show that's supposed to happen.
CE, yeah.
A lot of people have pulled out.
Consumer electronics.
Consumer electronics. A lot of booths have pulled out, and I think it's due to the fact because of this new strain of virus.
I generally think that considering what we're seeing coming from this virus, that it's an overreaction to the original reaction that we had, which was more deadly. That's my feeling. I'm not anybody who
we're not experts or agree or opposed to anything.
Well, I'm just reading the information. I mean, what's coming out? It came basically we had a huge wave in South Africa, and the head of their virology or whatever, I'm going to say it wrong, but he came out and said, look, it has not caused a huge uptick in our hospitalizations. It's swept through us. And not only that, but it's now on a decline. So it took about a month over there or more, a little bit over a month, for it to shoot up and then decline. Right. And it's basically been looked at as a lot of cold type symptoms. Not too many people.
I think they're doing it to scare us.
Look, it's hard to ignore that it's being overblown.
Right.
It's hard to ignore that. And it's really, it's also interesting to watch doctors, people who are doctors and virologists, and all the people who we look at as professionals in this zone, and they always are hedging their bet, basically saying, well, we see it looks like it might be more mild, but we don't know yet. Right. And it's like, well, hold on. Are we not looking at where this has come from and saying, well, and this is what bothered me before about when we started seeing breakthrough infections. They kind of did the same thing on that, where they were like, yeah, they just ignored what was happening in Europe. Right. And said, well, we don't really see the breakthrough infections. You got to go out, and they just kept pushing getting vaccinated. Okay. Which I guess in their minds was the overarching important message. Fine. But let's not ignore what's happening and completely try to keep people in the dark, or at least what I feel like is an attempt to do that.
Yeah. And just, things pop in my mind as you're talking, and one with everyone. And I am vaccinated, and I was I was against getting vaccinated for a very long time. However,
you damn hippie.
Well, my thought is we're still getting it anyway, even if we're vaccinated, right? And I'm sure a lot of people who don't believe in the vaccine see that as well. But my thought is, and I just lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
I just think it's just yeah.
Well,
it's a one way for Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson and Johnson. I mean, these companies are making friggin' bank.
Yeah.
And what I've seen with this whole last 2 years is the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer.
Yeah, and we may not even have seen the true expression of that, if you will. We may not have seen that fully express itself yet, because there have been some propping up of those poorer getting poorer along the way, some money doled out and things like that.
Right.
But I do think that I agree with you. I think that's a lot of reason why we're seeing so much movement in real estate, because people are trying to get their footing in places where they feel more insulated, where they feel more like they're in control of their lives.
Right. I mean, it's amazing or astonishing how much big corporate America has gotten greedy, especially with a lot of the builders here in Las Vegas, and I'm sure across the country. Yeah, it's just kind of crazy.
Well, some of that greed I can understand. It's like,
well, it's a supply and demand.
Yeah.
So it's typical economics. I understand that, but with everything, I mean, you're just, and I guess it ties into the whole inflation thing.
Yeah. Well, see, I was going to say that where I started was obviously where it was decimated. These builders took, they were selling at high highs, and then suddenly everything just lost. They could not sell a home. They were begging people to sell a home for a while. So they went through a very rough period of trying to, come back. And a lot of builders went away, probably good, because some of these builders weren't very good.
Right.
And the good ones stuck around for the most part. And then as time went on, they started to be able to, make more money for each property and to sell at better prices. And so now when they see this all coming, they just say, let's just take advantage of what's happening, because we don't know when another decline might happen. So we have to take our winnings, if you will, while we have them.
Squirrel it away.
And so I can understand that mentality, but I do think that there has been some use of the supply shortages and the worker shortages to increase prices and increase profits. And that, look, we've seen it in the way that they've handled the way they pay out commissions, and some of that stuff is just a little too low down. It's not forward thinking.
I mean, the thing is that you have all these worker shortages, and then you complain about people not being able to find jobs. There's so many, I don't know. Is there lots of jobs out there, right? I mean, if you need money, if you need to get a job, I don't care. I mean, I worked at Burger King in college. I mean, I worked at fast food. If you need money to make ends meet, stop crying and work.
Well, at the same time, though, I can put myself, not too well, but put myself in my mentality of when I was like in my late teens or in my 20s. And if I could find a way to not have to work and still get paid, I'm doing that all day long.
But all of the stipulations or stimulus checks and everything's done with, and you've seen all these restaurants, sorry for the delay, lack of help.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting thing. It's like, I know, look, tragically, we've lost people through this pandemic, but it seems like we've lost a lot more people or something, because we don't have enough.
It's just hard to find good work, and no one wants to work because everyone got so used to staying at home. They're like, well, fuck that.
I think that's what it is that people have found ways around this stuff and found ways to make some income in interesting. I don't know. It's a weird time, right?
Yes.
But going back to what I think is moving things and shaking things, and what we are watching when it comes to the virus and stuff, I am really hopeful that this round that we're seeing, this variant, is actually our way out. I said this to you earlier, and you were like, huh? Our way out. Well, the way I see it is, if it's a much lesser, now look, again, the doctors aren't saying this. This is Rob Howe, realtor, saying this. So take it with a grain of salt. Be upset at me if you like. It seems like common sense to me, but what is common sense these days? I don't know. So if it is truly far less virulent, but much more contagious, because that's what we've seen, much more contagious, far less virulent, meaning that it's basically a cold.
Right.
That we want to
That's
go.
a
I
little
feel like
former of a COVID strain, but
yeah,
turned more into
it's a 19 strain. It's
right.
a COVID-19 strain or variant. So I feel like let's go out and hug each other. Let's breathe into each other's faces and give it to everybody and see if we can't gain antibodies that way. One thing that I just really dislike is that there has been zero focus on people who have already had COVID.
But they get it again.
Now, that is something that even the CDC does not put on their website. They are not sure how easily you can get it again. They are pretty sure it's pretty rare to get it again.
Well, you hear stories. I've had COVID a couple of times.
But there's all these bad tests. There's all these false positives.
True.
And there are people who just assume that they got sick again. And then they say, oh, I got it again, because it's just,
right.
It's got to be, right? That's all that's going around is COVID. That's all you hear about.
Right.
And right now the testing is bad. Not a lot of ways for people to just home test. We should be at home.
Well, actually, my daughter got really sick this beginning of this week, and there's a home test at Walgreens.
They actually had them?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you're seeing a lot of shortages in these tests. I don't know about in Vegas, but you're seeing a lot of shortages of these tests. So people are not able to. What I think would make sense is if we could just test at home, not have to go to a pharmacy like your daughter did.
Right.
Now, did she turn out to be okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't that. So that's good. But imagine she's got COVID. She's got to go, but doesn't know it, wants to test for it. She's got to go stand in line, go be around people.
True.
And wear these masks that are, how much, how protective are they? We don't really know, but we're wearing them anyway. All right, fine. Hopefully it's helping. But still, you're going to wander into a store. You're going to go do your thing. And not only that, but you just feel like trash. I don't know. It's like, let's get people tested. Let's get it at home and then keep them at home. So then they can get a therapeutic. And there are therapeutics coming out from these, ironically, from some of these big drug makers that now they're going to say, these are what we want to see everybody using, not the ones that might have been working and monoclonal antibodies that they've been. Anyway, there's so much to it.
But isn't Biden, I thought when I do my, hey, Alexa, flash briefing.
Yeah.
That's the news I get.
He ordered 500 million tests, but he just ordered them. And they're saying that maybe they'll have about 70 million available.
Free. Isn't it free or something?
Yeah. But here's the beauty of government. Oftentimes you'll see that government is doing something that by the time we actually get it, it's too late.
Right.
If this runs its course, if this variant runs its course like it did in South Africa, it took about a month and a half or a month.
Right.
So if it's next month that we start getting free tests at home, it's already too late unless there's a new variant. And I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're getting spammed or something there.
Yeah. It's just... Okay. Enough about COVID. It is Christmas Eve. So
yeah.
We've been on for 30 minutes. So let's wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
But before we get started on that, don't you like Rob's new hairdo?
Hey.
Looks like Rob when I first met him. Doesn't it look good? I think it looks good.
I feel good. I had a good go with long hair, and it was.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
Thank you.
I like it a lot.
I'm happy. It's maybe I'll get it even shorter in the summer because it is a little.
Well,
long.
I like because your hair is natural, wavy,
got
curly.
A little wave, yeah. A lot of curl underneath.
Yeah,
the sides.
Yeah, and it doesn't drag it down and makes you look younger.
Good.
That's what you want, right?
I mean, that's what everybody wants, right?
What's up? Hold on. What are your thoughts on interest rates going to raise around March?
Yeah, I would think that somewhere February, March, the first quarter of the year, we're going to see an interest rate change. And see, that's why I think we're going to get, just going back, why we're going to get people to, they're going to be looking to buy as soon as possible before that interest rate change.
Yeah.
The smart people that have been kind of waiting, looking for their chance, they're all diving in.
Yeah. If you guys have any questions for those 5 people that are watching, leave it down below. Otherwise, we're going to start wrapping this up.
Yeah. Yep.
And we'll do our market update either the first week of January, depending on when we get our numbers, or the second week. Oh,
let's just say what we think is going to happen. Going to see higher numbers for December?
Yes, December numbers are going to be high, and I
Okay.
do believe there will be another medium price increase.
Okay.
I don't know about 10
Yeah, that sounds
10,000, but it's going to be an increase.
Yeah, I would tend to believe that too. I think that we'll see that we had lower inventory as well in December.
Yes. And yeah, it got depleted. The only reason, I can't wait to find out how the new construction ended for 2021, what the sales were for new construction. And another thing, real quick, what I'm experiencing, why isn't it not showing?
You too, Matt.
With new construction is the delays. They don't have cabinets. They don't have garage doors. They don't have this. They don't have that. They don't even have electricity. I have a client that's buying in Castellana over in Taylor Morrison, and the Nevada Power can't even get out there to put electricity until March, and they're supposed to close in January.
Wow.
So if you're buying new construction, expect delays. If they say it's going to close in April, it may take a little longer.
Have you seen any standing inventory?
There's a few that have been doing standing inventory, like the Castellana has a couple standing inventory.
Okay. But do they have power?
But they don't have power. So regardless if you buy it, well, when they do standing inventory now, they spec out the homes. So what these builders are doing is they're speccing out because of the approval process when it comes to I can't even think anymore, to getting permits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they've been specking out a lot of homes. So it may not be ready for 6 months, but it'll be a spec home.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's hardly anything that's fully ready.
Yeah. It's not standing spec home that's ready to roll.
Yeah.
Not a lot of that around, folks. So you're going to have a little bit of a wait on these new homes.
And then Toll Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
They
first
say
you
12
pay the
months.
toll, brother.
Yeah.
And
now
then,
it's like 15.
First you pay the toll, brother, and now you wait a long time for the home. But they are absolutely fantastic homes.
Yes, they are. But anyway, so I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy past Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Cover everybody. And we appreciate everyone that watches us on YouTube. We love our fans and we love the interaction that we get.
Thanks for joining us. Absolutely. And you know what? I hope that 2022 brings everyone what we're looking for, which is just, a little bit more
normalcy,
sanity.
Yes.
Let's get on track. We can't expect too much too quickly, but I think we can expect a little bit better year in 2022.
Totally. 2-2.
2-2. Peace, baby. Peace.
Anyway, guys, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We cannot wait to see you guys next year. Yeah. Peace out.
Yeah. Rock on.
And we'll see you guys
on
next time.
Next one. Yeah. Oh boy.
Bye. We messed that one up majorly.